Hello beautiful souls, and welcome back to my channel. This week's reading is about who is coming into your life and why. And we have 3 indicator cards. So pile A, or card A, is the Fates. Card B is a leg up. And card C is a fork in the road. So you have to choose card A, B, or C and go to the relevant pile. The color mirror spritzer this week is Archangel Uriel, who is my favorite archangel. So I'm gonna spritz my hands, rub them until the alcohol dissipates, smell it deeply, and then use my hands to fluff my aura, especially in front of my heart. And I shall send you guidance, love, courage, and blessings from Archangel Uriel. Okay, so we're going to start with pile A. If you chose the Fates card, this is your pile. So the Fates card points to a meeting that is fated, destiny, karmic. There's nothing you can do about it. It's going to happen whether you want it or not, for better or for worse. Definitely points to a meeting that's preordained by spirit for a greater purpose that you probably won't understand, or you might take time to understand. And so part of this card, what this card is signaling is to accept the mystery and work. So stop resisting, basically. This is not something you can change. This is something that's going to happen. And to try and learn what you can, like, why is this person coming into your life? And that's something that we're going to explore. Just know that it's fated, and that it's there to help you evolve into a better version of yourself. Okay, so let's see what our spiritual allies from Sirius have to add to this event, or this fated meeting of yours. We have this one come out. Faith. So 2 things. Faith is about not knowing and still taking the steps. TaA GeE. Anana aAwaAh kayiti ayiti aAwaAh ianene ishi. So basically, this is a relationship that's going to teach you, or a meeting, a relationship, because somebody is coming in to teach you about faith. And so whether it's somebody who lives in faith, and somebody who is going to teach you to move forward without knowing and seeing. So I often say this on Sirius: they live through and with faith. That means that they don't know why they're doing things, they just know that they have to do things. And that's why they think that life is so much fun, because they don't know. So it's a lot about following your intuition and trusting that you're being guided and that your soul is guiding you. So this is a relationship that's definitely going to teach you about faith, and faith in your abilities. So sometimes these type of meetings, you know, they become the opposite of what it is you're supposed to teach and learn. So maybe you're going to come face to face with somebody who has no faith and who's living their life in total control and not trusting that there's a higher power. So that could also be it. So the opposite of faith. And as I say, usually use the symbols because they're there to help you get more clarity and deepen your faith too. Okay, let's get another Syrian spiritual ally for this relationship. So what is this fated meeting with this person about, and why? Well, joy and exhilaration, which, as you know, is the card for both the fire horse year and Saturn and Aries. So I feel like Aries, this Aries energy just bring a lot of joy and exhilaration. So somebody who's fun, somebody who's going to teach you how to have fun, and who maybe is actually also going to teach you just how fun can be very faith-based. Like, you know, that joy is probably is one of the highest frequencies, and so when you live in joy, actually automatically you can only live and be in faith. So definitely a joyful character, somebody who knows how to live joy, and who maybe to the extreme, that could be one thing that could be coming in, but somebody's going to teach you definitely how to enjoy life and have fun, and maybe not take yourself so seriously. Kayata ush kawo kushini ushini yete. Let's bring in the Mystic Martians, which is a new deck I just got. I just fell in love with it. It's a little very quirky, but I tend to find that a lot of the energy is aligned with my own deck. So, okay, so who is coming in right now and why? Who's coming into your life right now and why? Oh, this one wanted to come out. Somebody who's a vegan. We have solitude, independent, and peace. So let's see what we can say about that. I thought it was actually people who didn't eat meat, but actually it can worth, maybe it is a vegan actually. But this is actually from Vega, the planet Vega, also called Alpha Lyra, which is the brightest star of the Northern Lyra constellation. And they're ancestral refugees from the ancient Lyra-Draco Wars. So apparently they're very peaceful. They don't want to participate in galactic politics, wars, and they're very neutral, which is why we have solitude, independent, and peace. They're said to be about 250 years ahead of the Pleiadians. I'm not going to say it well, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean. The people from the Pleiades. So who's coming in is somebody who's highly self-sufficient and very autonomous and very spiritually guided by the Andromedan Council. So natural healers, very, very attuned to nature and their natural environment. So you have to see somebody who is probably very connected spiritual, but also very private and very neutral, and who likes his own company. So independent and very, very on par about being their own sovereign self. And I was right, they are vegans and they eat organic raw plant life because they consider the consumption of dead animals to be a foul crime against nature. So this is somebody who's going to be very independent. So self-directed, sovereign, independent, likes its own, so an introvert. So it comes very resourceful, private, apolitical, but very family focused, and a vegan. I think that's very interesting. Is there anything else? No. Okay, so I don't know how you feel about that. So it's fated, karmic, a vegan, and I'm not being given gender, just so you know. And they come here to teach you about faith and joy. Okay, what else? Let's get one more set of cards. Pulled out the tea leaves because they're quick and short and fun. Okay, which is a very Aries energy. So who's coming into your life? Well, whoever it is, it's temporary. Temporary. Who is coming into your life and why? Let's see, who's coming into your life and why? Come on, two more. Why? Okay, one more here. Ooh, so a temporary great passion. Okay, one last one. Who's coming into your life and why? So there it is. I like when they fall out. Persevere and you will overcome problems. Okay, so the way I would interpret that, or what's coming through is this person, it feels like temporary. It could be that you want it to be temporary, but it's potential for a great passion. And, if you work things through, I think it can become something longer term. Like it could maybe, because you have the passion card, definitely a very good friendship, if not a love affair. So if that's you, you know, as I say, it's fated. So it's going to happen whether you want or not. And then you get to choose whether you want it to be temporary or if you want it to be longer term. But just know that the person is, yeah, his own self. Not going to be swayed easily by the world outside of them. And pretty in touch with themselves. It feels, as I say, karmic and fated. Okay, I hope this helps. So be on the lookout for this fated relationship that's coming into your life. And know that it's a lesson in faith and joy and exhilaration and a potential great passion might happen. Kaisa yata usi uchi akati ata ashuyiti uiti naka uenekeku atakashi. Hello, Pal B. This is your card. If you chose a leg up, I might have inverted them, and I'm sorry if I am. If I haven't, just switch them. So this is Pal B, a leg up. So this points to somebody who's coming into your life to help you, to move forward, to make, I'm going to say, a leap. Somebody who's definitely stepping into your life to help, to give you help for what you need right now in your life purpose. That's what it feels like to me. About receiving help, delegating authority, interdependence. So this makes me think of actually more of a business person coming in. You know, it's no longer about you walking alone. And so the idea is somebody's going to walk in to help you, you know, expand in the areas where you really need help. So remember, this is supposed to help you, and it's aid that's freely given. So this is about teamwork and interdependence and like, you know, this is collaboration. So it's important that you recognize that you don't need to do it on your own anymore, and that you can actually ask for help and allow people to help you, you know, and vice versa. So don't be scared of being vulnerable, and to speak up about your needs and to ask for what needs to be fulfilled. Yeah, so, you know, it could also be like a mentor, a business advisor, that kind of thing to help you with your prosperity. And, you know, maybe it's a time to hire people to help you so that you can move and expand and delegate. So somebody's coming in to help you for sure. Okay, let's see what Syrian spiritual allies want to say about who's coming in and why. Who's coming in and why? Who is coming in and why? Well, definitely to balance in the divine feminine. So remember, when this card comes in, it's about the receiving, the creating. So the sense I get is maybe somebody's coming in either to help you create more, to help you focus on what you need to create, to be more in that receiving space. So the sense I get here is about you can do everything, and you've learned to do everything, but you no longer need to do everything. And, you know, you can hand over so that you can really learn to receive and create and be like on the receiving end of this energy. So it feels like the person who's coming in is actually going to take like more of the divine masculine role, so that you can really focus on this divine feminine aspect. And remember, use the symbols, the spiritual allies, to help you bring this into form and to guide you. Like, there's a sense I really get is that the universe would really like you to move on to receiving, being the conduit, and using your energy at what you do best rather than do everything, which is kind of what you've been doing until now. Okay, and we'd like a second spiritual ally for this collective. I have this one, Healing Heartbreak. So remember, this is the very first card in my Oracle deck, and when you get the Healing Heartbreak card, it's usually the heartbreak about, I said the initial heartbreak is when you have to leave your star family and incarnate on Earth, and that every heartbreak from there stems from that one. And I feel like because it's coming in, it's like maybe there's been a real heartbreak about you being received and seen in the world and what you've come to uniquely contribute, especially work-wise. Or what I'm going to say is who and what you've been to come and share and transmit with the world has not been received. And there's been this massive, massive heartbreak. So the role of this person is to help you move beyond this heartbreak and really showcase who you are. Allow you to really show the world and share who you are with the world. So it feels like a leg up, like a trampoline. Aishakawa nanana wate yete ueshe wene ushi ata kakatuene. So, really allowed you to transcend this heartbreak, and be received and seen. I really feel it's somebody who's very passionate about what you're doing and who understands really well what you're doing. And so for that reason can really come in and support you to do your work even better. This feels very much like a work collaboration. Okay, let's see what the mystical Martians have to say to us. So who is coming in for this collective and why? So this is also about, surrendering and just focusing on what you're really, really good at and like your own special talent. So this one's coming in. The Alpha Centaurians. So it's interesting. It's like a confirmation. Foresight, planning, and strategy. So masculine energy. And remember, masculine and feminine are just energies. They're not gender. We don't do gender. And, this could be a man or a woman. So I don't know very much about these starseeds, Alpha Centaurians, apart from the fact that they seem to be water-based. Let's see what we can find out about them. How interesting. So they reside at Centaurus constellation, located between Lupus and Vela constellations. And it's said that they only make contact with humans during specific cosmic timings and only with humans that have developed enough conscious awareness to not agitate the higher violet frequency bandwidth that they're accustomed to. Very intolerant of disrespect and over-idealized fantasies that are not in keeping with natural law. So they are webbed. There's somebody who's obviously very, very connected to the sea. And they're saying here that they can be quite tall, but with aquatic features and organs. So long hair, large eyes, athletic build. They wear simple flowing clothing. They sound very hippie to me, actually. Hippie surfer. When I'm listening to this, I'm like, ooh, California, Australian, New Zealand, hippie surfer people. Very straightforward, direct communicators when negotiating, very respectful. They said to be vegetarian or vegan and don't like intense sunlight. Strong allies with Sirians, Pleiadians, and Venetians. So their huge skills are strategy, negotiation, tactics, foresight, hindsight, designing, planning, schedule, time management, focused, and direct. So it looks like you're pulling in somebody who's literally going to take over the whole it feels like a business manager to me. Business manager, which is kind of funny because it's like the image of the California blonde surfer boy doesn't really sit very well, but hey, maybe it's more of an energy than anything. Maybe it's like a free spirit, but definitely coming to give you a leg up in your business and like a business manager type of role, that kind of thing. So, so that you can focus on these two things, which are receiving and healing and opening your heart so that your soul can speak even more. So here's one of your tea leaves, this group, excitement. So it feels very exciting, firecracker, woohoo. So who's coming into your life and why? Definitely a no-nonsense energy. That's what it feels like to me. Okay, we have this one. Look at that, something important such as a new job or a raise. So definitely somebody who's going to expand your horizons and give you, like, it's going to give you a wealth. Look at that. So it's going to allow you to expand and receive and give more also, and just show more of who you are, showcase more of who you are, and share more of who you are. So that feels like a really interesting relationship and business relationship to have. Kuyuta na kuyutu no ushuchu ete ahu et uneke ushi ayake iatu kasha ayanaka. So I hope this helps. Yeah, be on the lookout for this interesting person who's about to come into your life very soon. And say yes, because look what it leads to. Excitement, wealth, and something very important such as a new job or raise. So it feels like your whole job description is actually going to change. You know, maybe instead of being the person who does it all, you're now going to become just the person who receives and has a whole group of people implementing. And how would that feel? Namaste. Hello, Pal C. This is your card, a fork in the road if you chose Pal C, a fork in the road. So this feels like a person who's coming in for a whole new direction, going to take your life in a whole new direction. You would have been going in one direction, and now it looks like this person is coming in to take you into a whole other direction, and it feels positive to me. It doesn't feel like something that is going to be very stressful. It's interesting because it's somebody who's going to force you to make a decision where maybe you haven't dared to make a decision. So you're going to have to make a decision. He's going to force you. It's not somebody who can make you make that decision, but it's somebody who's going to probably trigger the right things for it to make a decision. So it's about a moment of truth. You get to open up to love maybe, or staying isolated, or walk away, or stay committed to a relationship. But this is about choosing. This is somebody who's going to force you to choose. Whatever decision you make, it's about you moving to a truer experience of the heart. So I think that's really good. Okay, let's call in our Syrian spiritual allies and see what they have to say. So who is coming into your life and why? Who is coming into your life and why? Inspiration. So somebody who's going to inspire you and allow you to connect to your own inner inspiration. So maybe it's somebody who's doing what you're doing already, or who's going to show you how you can do it. Like, it feels like somebody who's already embodying the energy that you would like to embody and who will inspire you. So maybe a friendship or some kind of a somebody who definitely inspires you. And so he's by that fact going to allow you to feel inspired. Kalulu kohi ayats ushi kakakatata lulu anini alulu aishi awe esini. So yeah, lots of inspiration. So it feels like an artist or a creative, a musician, an actor, somebody like that, somebody in the creative field whose energy will really inspire you. And I'm even going to say maybe the life will really inspire you. Okay, let's give us a second spiritual ally who is coming into your life and why. Who's coming into your life and why. Okay, so this one wants to come up. Card of intimacy. In this card in the Oracle decks, it talks about being intimate with yourself before you can be intimate in a relationship. And so it's about acknowledging the parts of yourself where you don't want to be intimate or where you're ashamed. So just going back to what I was saying about this intimacy card, which is, it's about the place, a very young place in you where that you've been ashamed of. And so what this shows me is this person is coming to shed the light on this place of you and to show you how absolutely amazing it is. So it feels very inner childlike, somebody who's really gonna inspire your inner child and show you how they're using their inner child to create. So definitely somebody who's very in touch with their inner child, and who's very, very in touch, very proud, and who's going to show you how inspiration works and how to really tap into that part of yourself. So what's coming through is that it's probably somebody quite childlike, because somebody very in touch with their inner child. So maybe not great for a relationship, a mature relationship, but maybe somebody really, really cool to create with. Okay, Spirit, so we're using the Mystical Martian deck. Who is coming in and why? Who's coming into your life and why? Who's coming in and why? We have this one. We have the tall whites, uncertainty, distress, guarded. So that makes sense in the context of what I'm saying, which is, you know, they might be kind of immature, you know, and very protected because of their inner child attitude. And by that I mean maybe they have been very criticized, or, you know, they're showing you where you are guarded and uncertain, and so you remember in this game of relationships, we are constantly mirroring each other, so that you can see, you know, where you're disconnected from your soul, or where you're not living in alignment with what your soul wants to do. So thin, chalky, pale, white skin, and very, very large eyes, blue eyes. Tend to be very fair hair colored, sorry. Very family orientated, very close to their young ones, very protective of their offspring, not very demonstrative actually emotionally, and they can appear emotionless, but they can be easily provoked. They tend to not trust the human species. Not very good at multitasking or small talks, and actually they don't talk a lot. They prefer a dry climate, and like to live in the mountains. They tend to have highly sophisticated technologies. So these are people that are wary, skeptical, very cautious, a little cynical, guarded, don't trust people, easily aloof, but very sensitive and agile. So something to think about. Maybe somebody who's coming in who will demonstrate all of that, but ultimately somebody who's extremely creative and very guarded emotionally, but who will teach you how to connect with your inspiration and to tap into the part of you, maybe that very young part of you that was so guarded and so protected, and that you're not allowing yourself to bring through. Okay, I'm just gonna ask for some tea leaves, just to, why is this person coming into your life? Who's coming into your life and why? Well, we have somebody who's coming to warn you of a problem, either now or in the near future. So the way I interpret that is that if you continue along the way you're doing, protecting your, you know, that part of yourself and not allowing this part of yourself to express itself, then, you know, it's going to be very tricky. Like, now is the time to really step in and claim that part of yourself. We have the flag. Do not be tempted to lower your standards, right? It's about raising your standards and allowing that part of yourself to fully emerge and to be who you really came to be, who your soul wanted to be, who your inner child would like you to be. You know, I'm going to say the more you can be your inner child, the better you'll do. And then one final one. Look at that. If you follow the path, increasing material wealth or spiritual growth. So this is really a call for that creative inner child to surface. So this person who's coming in is going to really allow you, inspire you maybe create with you. Maybe it's a creative collaboration, and allow you to really tap into this part of yourself. How cool is that? Very cool. aAwaAh na ku asa kara uesa unana ishi atata kashiti a. So claim your inner child. I'm going to say romance your inner child, which is probably the wrong thing, but take your inner child out on dates. Like really start connecting with your inner child and see, you know, how this relationship is actually going to really allow that part of you that's been kind of put to the side and considered important. I think that's one of the big things. Like, there's this perception that it wasn't important, that people thought it was ridiculous, and that it wasn't gonna, you know, bring you a job, that it wasn't, you know, that it wasn't valued in the educational system that you grew up in. And so there's shame there, and there's shame, and there's like, you don't really know what to do with it, and yet it just wants to come out and play. So give it opportunities to play. So I hope this helped. I hope it makes you feel excited about what's coming in for you very soon. And I'm sending you big blessings. Namaste.